Title: First Grade Coaching Cycle. Plan: the Count, Play, Explore logo appears in the lower right with the words Count, Play, Explore for early education. Two adults, Jonathan on the left and Ismarai on the right, sit at the corner of a table. In front of Jonathan is a clipboard with papers and a pen. Between Jonathan and Ismarai is a rectangular-shaped paper with black lines dividing it into 4 quadrants. In the top left quadrant is the outline of a rectangle. In the top right quadrant is the outline of an equilateral triangle. In the bottom left quadrant is the outline of a right triangle. And the bottom right quadrant has a shaded right triangle. The paper faces Ismarai.
Good morning, Ismarai. How are you today?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm super. So I'm excited to talk about the next steps for math and what we're doing, and looking forward to what's going to happen here. We've so far done some demonstrations and observations around number talks, counting collections, and shape talks, and now we're going to go more into geometry. So tell me about how geometry has been so far for you.
So far, geometry has been really great for us. Students have been learning about 2D shapes, 3D shapes, and then how we can cut those shapes into halves and quarters.
When I was thinking about geometry, what that looks like, and there's 3 different standards that we have in first grade. And I was going to focus on the first one and the third one. Let me look at that real quick.
Jonathan looks down at a paper on the table and picks up the pen.
The distinguishing between attributes, so we can talk about what makes that shape, what defines it. And then also, again, going into partitioning.
Jonathan places one hand on the rectangular-shaped paper with the quadrants and moves the other hand, palm down, over the paper, gesturing to all of the shapes.
The students will look at these 4 shapes, and I'll just ask which one doesn't belong. And the idea is that they will pick a shape, and there's not so much there isn't a wrong answer, but they just need to defend why they think that shape doesn't belong. And then, because we talked a little bit about the idea of defining that and other attributes, I thought a sorting activity would be good. So I did this.
Jonathan reaches to the left and picks up a stack of cards with shapes printed on them. Jonathan sets 2 cards out in front of Ismarai and sets the rest of the stack down.
I have these shapes here that they can look through, and I was going to have them in pairs. So this will be whole class.
Okay.
Jonathan touches the rectangular-shaped paper with both hands.
Where we'll sit on the ground together, and then this will be in pairs.
Jonathan points with both pointer fingers to the cards in front of Ismarai.
I'll ask you, this is where you'll come in. So this I'll do on my own.
Jonathan holds both hands up in the air and then tilts them toward the rectangular-shaped paper. Jonathan's hands return to hover above the cards.
And then we'll kind of co-teach this part.
Okay.
Jonathan leaves the 2 cards on the table in front of Ismarai and picks up the stack of cards. Jonathan places the rest of the cards out on the table in front of Ismarai so all the shapes are visible.
Where I'll give them the different cards, and I'll ask them to sort them based off whatever attribute they come up with. Anything I should be aware of coming into the classroom this time? I'm somewhat familiar with your students, but anything that's new or unique right now?
At the moment, no.
Ismarai holds one hand up, palm down, over the cards.
This will be really fresh in their brains because we just reviewed over this, so they'll be excited to get some hands-on activity.
Nice.
Credits. A special thanks to the children, families, and staff of the Kepler Neighborhood School, without whose help these videos would not have been possible. The Count, Play, Explore logo appears in the lower right with the words Count, Play, Explore for early education.